once again and welcome back to my channel. If this is your very first time here and this is the first time that you're seeing this face, please make sure that you subscribe in this channel and click that notification bell icon so you will be notified once I have new videos uploaded. And by the way, I upload videos every day, so please do not miss any of those, especially if you are interested in learning about virtual assistants and learning about home-based jobs, online work, what else, online jobs, and everything in between. This is the right channel for you. Yours truly is a virtual assistant for 16 years and I sure can supply you with information that you need. Alright, so make sure that you hit that red subscribe button and click that notification bell already right now. Go ahead and do that.
Okay.
Perfect. Now, let's get on to the topic for this video. So in this video, ladies and gentlemen, usapang pera tayo. So I will be discussing about how much a virtual assistant earns. Okay? So pag-usapan po natin, how much nga ba ang kinikita ng isang virtual assistant? Okay? So malamang you've been doing your research already. And baka nga, like if you're an aspiring virtual assistant and you've been doing your research, you may have an idea already. But then, if it's your first time to, learn about this, then stay tuned and I will be discussing the 7 factors affecting how much a virtual assistant can earn. So make sure that you stay tuned and finish this video up to the end so that you will have an understanding of how much we are earning. Okay, now let's get on to the topic. Now let me discuss the first of the 7 factors that can affect how much a virtual assistant can earn. Number 1 is whether that virtual assistant is working directly to a client or working for an agency. So if you are actually a beginner or like a newbie virtual assistant wherein you don't have any experience yet, then joining a team of virtual assistants working for an agency is a good start for you. That way it will be a training ground, and if you need that experience, then it's a good start for you to start your journey as a virtual assistant. Now joining a team of virtual assistants or applying for an agency may not give you a higher income than having to directly work to a client, but it's not like set in stone. It's not at all times ganyan yung nangyayari. There are cases din na mas mababa pa nga yung kinikita ng isang virtual assistant na nag-work directly to a client. Again, it depends on the other factors na i-discuss ko after this. But anyway, talking about itong factor na to, wherein whether that virtual assistant is working for an agency or directly working for a client, may mga kanya-kanyang advantages and disadvantages po yan. So, if you're working kasi for an agency, that means someone or that agency or that company has their clients. Kumbaga, kanila yung clients na yun. So, what they're doing is, they're getting the task where they have a contract with that client, and then, sila yung nagpupull ng manpower, sila yung naghahanap ng virtual assistants to work for that client of theirs. So, ibig sabihin, sila yung third person ba? So, pero parang sila yung nasa gitna between you and the client. That's why, most of the time, maybe not all the time and not in all cases, and hindi din siguro lahat ng agencies, hindi ko naman nila lahat, pero most of the time, syempre, since may third person na, hindi lahat ng binabayad ng client goes to you as a virtual assistant. So, ibig sabihin, medyo may cut na yun. May cut na yung agency, and then they pay their workers, yung mga virtual assistants nila. So, somehow, most of the time, hindi ganun kalaki yung kinikita ng isang virtual assistant na nag-work sa isang agency or sa isang, if you're included in a team. But again, it's a case-to-case basis. It can not be that case depende din sa sitwasyon, depende sa laki ng kontrata ng agency na yun sa dun sa sa client nila. So, may mga agency that can pay workers really good money din. Depende siguro sa project or depende sa tasks na pinapagawa. So, again, all other factors kailangan ninyo malaman. So, make sure that you're still in this video. So, if you are working directly to a client, iba nang usapan yon. Ibig sabihin, direct ka na nagtatrabaho sa kliyente mo. So, ibig sabihin, walang third person, walang nakaharang in between you and the client. Ibig sabihin, kayong dalawa na yung mag-uusap, kung kayo na yung mag-meet halfway, kung gaano ba kaya ibayad ng kliyente sa'yo and how much you're asking. So, you can meet halfway and decide whether that rate or that payment is good for you and also good sa kliyente. So, walang third person na involved. The money is all yours. So, ayan. So, again, working for a client directly, most of the time, earns a virtual assistant good income compared to having to work for an agency. But then, again, it depends na naman sa mga susunod na mga factors. Kaya nga na-mention ko kanina, hindi naman sa lahat ng oras na dehado yung worker na nagtatrabaho sa agency. May cases, maybe rare cases na yung tao na nag-work sa isang agency can actually earn more doon sa isang tao na nag-work directly sa client. Again, that is because of the factors na isusunod kong i-discuss. Okay? Now, let's get on to the second factor. So, ito pong pangalawang factor na i-discuss ko is depende naman po kung anong type of virtual assistant ikaw ka. Ang sama ko na nga, hindi na nga maganda yung English ko. Pati Tagalog ko minsan pumapalya. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. Anyway, so ayun na nga. Depende po kung anong klaseng virtual assistant ka. So again, it depends on the services that you can offer. So regardless if you're working for an agency or a team of virtual assistants or directly working for a client, depende yan sa services na binibigay mo. So what type of virtual assistant are you? Are you a real estate virtual assistant? Are you a general virtual assistant? What are you into graphics? A social media manager or something like that? Lahat po yan, they have their corresponding rates na parang running rate ba sa hinaharap. Ganyan. So depende po yan sa type of virtual assistant or sa services na ino-offer mo. So that is the second factor affecting kung how much a virtual assistant earns. Okay? So, mas mahirap na gawa or mas mahirap na trabaho, of course, will give you a higher income. Mas mahirap na tawag mo din, if you have a specialty, may mga specialized skills nang involved like what? Web designs, what else? Mostly web designs, mga IT, mga ganyan, mga codes, may mga programming stuff like that. That is like those are specialized skills and usually they earn more. Like more. So, again, that is the second factor. Depende po yan kung anong klaseng virtual assistant ka. It depends on what your services are. Okay? So, let's talk about the third factor. The third factor po is your location. Okay, it's your location then. Why? This third factor is actually connected dun sa first factor, which is either you're working for a client directly or you're working sa isang agency. While I'm talking about particularly sa case na yun na working ka sa isang agency, it depends saan bang location yung agency na yan. If that agency is in the province, most of the agencies I know, personally know, depends their rate sa provincial rate. Well, if that agency naman is in Manila or in big cities in Manila, medyo mataas-taas din yung rate. Kumbaga, may tinatawag nilang Manila rate. So somehow iniisip mo that's unfair. But yes, based on my observation and experience then, that is a factor. It depends on your location. So most of if you're like nasa province ka, and then you're going to apply sa isang agency sa province, then most likely you may get a provincial rate, something like that. Most likely lang naman. Hindi ko nilalahat. So, based lang ito sa naging observation ko and based na din sa aking experience. Alright? So, if you're going to apply naman sa isang agency which is based in Manila, then that is a different rate then. Now, again, this is another thing for you to research naman as to the different rates ng mga places dito sa Philippines para you have an idea of how much, an ideal rate that you should be expecting, or you can, negotiate, something like that. So that is the third factor, location. Now let's talk about the fourth factor. Now the fourth factor is the payment arrangement. So ano po ang ibig sabihin ng payment arrangement? How are you being paid? If you're a virtual assistant, like say you're an aspiring virtual assistant, how would you like to be paid? Do you want to be paid by the hour? Or do you want to be paid weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, or per project? So again, considering factors 1, 2, and 3, here's factor number 4. It depends na naman po ulit how much or how you are being paid. If it is by the hour, then ibig sabihin you have an hourly rate. Meron po tayong kasalukuyang parang running rate na na-observe ko based sa mga Facebook groups na sinalihan ko. I've been observing na ito yung running rate, hourly rate ng mga baguhan na mga virtual assistants, and it's just sad. Nakakasad lang kasi, well, personally, nasasad lang ako. Pero I think that's how it is sa ngayong sitwasyon because the demand na is really high. So, and then ang competition is medyo tight na. Kasi madami na ang nais na makapagtrabaho bilang isang virtual assistant. So, I would understand kung bakit nagbababaan ng mga rates na ino-offer ng ating mga kapatid na gustong magtrabaho bilang isang virtual assistant or makapag-land ng isang job online. So, sadly, may nakikita akong rates as low as $2. As low as $2 po. That's an hourly rate, okay? So that's another factor. And meron din naman tayong mga bi-weekly or monthly and then per project. So may mga kanya-kanyang rates po yan. And again, depende yan sa usapan ng virtual assistant and then ng kliyente. But just talking about hourly rate, which is the most commonly used payment arrangement, by the way, by virtual assistants, especially yung mga nasa services like email, mga customer service, real estate, social media, something like that. So that hourly po talaga, hourly rate yung pinaka-commonly used payment arrangement ng mga virtual assistants. So you have got to decide for yourself how much hourly rate you would like to be paid. Depende sa services mo. But I think I've mentioned this in another video. $5 is just enough, the right rate for a beginner. Wag na tayo makisabayan sa $2 and $3. You are more than that. But again, kanya-kanyang discount yan. Okay? I know if you are thinking of having that rate, I believe you have a plan for yourself. That might be a strategic plan for you to start at that rate, and I hope that it will progress and it will increase at a later period, maybe like after a month or after 3 months. Is it something for you? Are you deciding to choose that rate lang ba para parang trial version para dun sa kliyente? Then that's fine. That is your strategy, that is your method, and that is okay. But I would suggest do not stick to that rate, please. Okay? Do not stick sa rate na yan. It can be a rate that you can offer to a client for a trial. Say, okay, I'll give, if you want to to try my services, then I can charge you just $2 or $3 for 7 days, and then you can increase the rate if the client will find your services good and satisfactory, then yung mga ganyang method, that's fine. Pero do not stick to that way, please. Okay? Medyo nalilihis na yung topic ko. But anyway, yes, that is one factor, payment arrangement. So, depende po yan if you're being paid by the hour, if you're being paid monthly, or per project. Pag per project naman po, of course, it's one lump sum payment na din. Well, not lump sum. It depends again sa arrangement ninyo ng kliyente mo after you finish that project. And if it's monthly naman, that might be a different factor din kasi may mga clients na they would ask for, or parang they would negotiate na okay, I'll be paying you isang bagsakang payment na monthly, ganyan. And then it's going to be like higher than what you're asking for a day, for a weekly pay or a bi-weekly pay or an hourly pay. So depende yan. Minsan kasi I've experienced before na may naka-negotiate ako na parang he chose, or he's asking na babayaran ako ng isahan na medyo malaking amount, pero at the end of the month na. Parang ganyan. Parang magiging monthly siya. And hindi ako natuloy din sa client ko yun. I didn't like the terms anyway. So just sharing that is another factor, and it is our fourth factor, payment arrangement. Okay? So let's get on to the fifth factor. So yung panglimang factor po is years of experience. So somehow po, the more experienced the virtual assistant is, ibig sabihin, the more skills na na-master mo na, the more knowledge na nalaman mo na, the more platforms that you have experienced, and the more skills na nga, and the more confidence na na-gain mo na. Parang, ibig sabihin, you're experienced. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, if you're experienced, you should be able to give not just services but also solutions to your clients depending on the years of experience that you have had, depending on the depende sa situation ninyo. So, ibig sabihin, kapag experienced ka na, a virtual assistant usually can be more reliable na. Again, not at all times, okay? Parang general feedback lang. Diba, kapag experienced ka na, you're more confident of what you're doing. Parang you know what you're doing already because you're experienced. You know what you're doing. You've been through a lot doing the same thing, something like that. But again, hindi ko sinasabi na if you're not experienced, hindi ka magaling. Okay? Kasi I know na may mga baguhan nga na they're actually better than mga oldies like me. Kaya hindi ko naman sinasabi na kapag experience ka na or matagal ka ng virtual assistant, mas magaling ka na sa lahat. No. Depende po yan sa worker. Depende po yan sa sipag ng virtual assistant. Kahit baguhan ka pa lang, kahit magwa 1 year ka pa lang, if your pace in learning is fast and you keep growing, you keep learning new skills at a faster rate, then relax, mas gagaling ka pa sa kahit naka 20 years ng experience na virtual assistant na yan. Pero medyo may edge ng konti ang isang virtual assistant kapag matagal na sa servisyo. Kasi that is another parang gamitin na pwede siyang gamitin na pang-negotiate sa rate sa isang kliyente when doing a negotiation in terms of payments. So that can be used as a factor na pwede mo sabihin, hey, I've been doing this for what? Years already and I know how to do this, something like that. Kasi nga, you have experience. So that is another factor that I have included here na makaka-affect talaga how much a virtual assistant earns. So that is another factor, years of experience. So the sixth factor na pag-uusapan natin that can affect a virtual assistant's earning is working hours. Or if you're working just part-time, like less than 20 hours or 20 hours a week, then of course that will earn you less than someone who's working full-time. But again, consider factors 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, okay? Because that will also depend din sa factors na yun. Itong sixth factor, kahit nga naman if you're working part-time pero your rate is so high, daig mo pa yung isang full-time na ang rate is like $2 lang. Diba? So, depende again yun. But that is also another factor that can affect how much a virtual assistant earns. Yung working hours. Okay? Let's talk about the last and definitely not the least factor that can affect a virtual assistant's earning, and actually the most challenging and interesting factor is how well you sell your services. Gaano ka ba kagaling i-convince yung client mo that your services is worth this hourly rate or worth this monthly payment? So that is a factor. Nandyan na yung factor ng negotiation skill mo. How well can you sell your services? So, kahit na nga newbie ka, but then you are smart and you are wise, and then you have a strategy in mind, like you just have that negotiation skill in you. You nasa sa inyo na po yan kung gaano kayo kagaling in convincing your client in having to pay you this much of an hourly rate or this much of a monthly pay. So now, let me give you the figure kung how much ba. Range lang po ito, okay? How much ang kinikita ng isang virtual assistant. Now, okay, remember factors 1 to 7. Okay, 7 factors po yun na can affect how much a virtual assistant earns in a month. Okay, in a month period po yan. So, here is the amount. A virtual assistant can earn between or from $480 to a whooping what? $5,000 a month. Okay? Again, depende po yan sa factors 1 to 7. And I'm not kidding. I've known a lot of virtual assistants who can earn as much as $5,000 and a lot can actually learn more. So, depende po yan sa inyo. Okay? So, there you go. It can be from $480 to $5,000. It depends po sa 7 factors na na-mention ko na sa video na ito. Okay? So, yan po. That is how much a virtual assistant can earn. So, I hope you enjoyed this video and sana po may natutunan kayo. So, again, it's VA Doni. And please do not forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell icon para updated kayo kapag may bago na akong video bukas. Because, yes, I will be uploading a new video tomorrow. And that is daily videos uploaded and being shared to all my subscribers. So please make sure that you are subscribed, and when you see that there is a new video coming from me, click that and learn more. Bye!